Hey guys, it's me Mookie Ookie here, and today I'm back with a double upload. And today's movie is going to be A Birth of a Nation. Yes, that movie. The original one from 1915. I wanted to watch it, me and a couple of my friends, to see what exactly happened in it, what it was about, and such. And let me tell you, I had to do outside research to understand what in God's name was what was happening in this movie, because the quality was low as expected from this time period, but like we were so lost on who was who and why they were related and how they were related. We thought Elsie was the same chick that worked in the hospital but was also the one crying at home, and we thought that one of her brothers was in love with her, but then that wouldn't. We were confused, we were lost. So I had to do some outside research, and thanks to spark notes, I've learned that there are two families on either side of the Mason-Dixon line, and they become friends because their sons went to boarding school together. You have the Stonemans, I'm sorry, who are northern. They live in Washington, D.C., and own a rural getaway in Pennsylvania. Another thing that was pointed out was that apparently Griffith based Stoneman on real life Pennsylvania Republican Thaddeus Stevens, who led the House of Representatives radical reconstructionists and opposed Lincoln's more moderate plans. Stoneman embodies the Union's weakening will and its misguided social reforms. So I guess there's more symbolism here, and we just didn't catch it. To be honest, we were kind of like laughing at the movie at some parts because there was a lot of blackface, which we expected. But Jesus Christ, it just doesn't look natural. Like, I don't know why people thought this was funny. It looked more scary than anything, especially with these like terrible graphics with like the yellow sepia color thing. And then randomly it would just switch to like a red filter or a green filter or a blue filter. I guess it's supposed to be like symbolic of like the tone or whatever. And the fight scenes were too long. Just Jesus Christ. Like 30 minutes of weirdly sped up fight scenes. Like I feel like if it was recorded normally and then for some reason they sped it up, but like not too much where it's double speed, but enough to where like everyone kind of moves in a weird jerky way. Just it doesn't look natural. But this is supposed to be like a movie that made breakthroughs in the ways of making movies or something like that. I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. It's not there. It's not clicking with me. Cause I can't, no. It just, no. Anyway, Austin is, Austin Stoneman is an abolitionist politician who has Elsie, who's a delicate daughter. Phil and Ted are his sons. And if I'm not correct, Austin is also the one that we were laughing at for having a bad wig. Like, we knew men wore wigs back then, but like this kind of came out of nowhere with this movie, where there's a part where he's like rearranging it, trying to fix it, and then this woman comes over and like they just lift the wig back. Like, they don't take it off, they lift the front part back, and like his whole head is just out. And it was funny. It was too funny, way too funny. And then they're friends with the Camerons, who are southern plantation owners in Piedmont, South Carolina. There's Margaret, the refined older sister, Flora, the younger and innocent one, Ben, the oldest, and he becomes the main character later on, and Wade and Duke are the younger brothers. From what we understood after doing some research, Phil Stoneman loves Margaret Cameron. Ben Cameron loves and I'm gonna put this word on the screen, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say it wrong, the daguerreotype of Elsie, which is, I guess, is like an old word for some type of picture. Like, Ben has never met Elsie. He saw a picture of her and carries a picture of her around and says that he's in love with her. He meets her at a hospital later on, and it's like, he says something along the lines of like, you know, we've never met before, but like, I'm in love with you. And she's just like fine with it because she works at the hospital he ends up at. But like, bro, that's not cool. Let's not do that. That's not normal. Anyway, This movie is 3 hours long. We we had to break this up into three parts. The first hour, it was a bunch of confusion. Nothing much really happened. There were like color changes. You saw some black faces. We got confused about who was who. I just told you the family line and the connections between it. Yeah, nothing much really happens. Like, I know the movie starts off with the line of Jesus Christ, what was it? Something about bringing the first African over. Let me find it real quick. The bringing of the first African to America planted the first seed of disunion. Then, I guess the Northern brothers, Phil and Todd, are coming down to visit the Camerons and hang out for a bit, but they leave and get sucked into fighting for the war. So like the Southern family is all patriotic about it. They're like, yeah, my son's going to go fight. It's going to be great. There's like a partying, celebrating scene because the Union, is it the Union? The Southern side won one battle. So they're like celebrating. They're all happy about it. There was an interesting scene where I think this was Austin Stoneman, where he has a guest over and this guest kind of like leaves, but as he's leaving, he walks past this mixed woman, or they call her a mulatto woman. She's a housekeeper of sorts, right? Obviously a white woman doing blackface. Not very good blackface at that. Lydia Brown is her name. And it's weird. One of my friends suspected that like maybe Mr. Stoneman was her father and he slept with the black slave maybe, but he's from the North, and even though they were against slavery, I don't really see him doing that. I don't know. It could be. But then again, it wasn't uncommon for like lighter skinned people to work in the house. So I don't know. Either way, this guest leaves the house and he's like very obviously eyeing Lydia up and down. And I guess she dropped something. She did something where like she's all sad and it upsets her. So like she begins like showing her vast amount of disappointment and upsettedness by like ripping at her clothes and making a big ordeal for no freaking reason. So the guy ends up looking at her and her chest is basically halfway out, and I guess it's not, I guess, I know they are portraying her as like this type of seductress character, but I don't know how they did this with a straight face, because not only was she not attractive, she just looked really, really creepy. Like, all the people that did blackface in the scene were creepy. Like, there's another part where, in the South, the Camerons were going through the cotton fields or whatever, or like the slave area. And there's a brief title card where it's like, oh, the slaves work like 12-hour-a-day shifts or whatever, right? So the Camerons are giving a tour to the Stonemans, right? And there's black kids. But like I was so confused because I always thought like, when it comes to blackface, that it was just, the adults that would do it. Like I never thought kids would do it. I never thought they would let kids do it, Even though I shouldn't be surprised, because if they were willing to make a TV show in blackface and sell dolls to profit off of this, then kids dressing up as black people making fun of them shouldn't be surprising. I mean, it still happens today, but like, I don't know. It's just one of those things you never really consider or think about until you see it. And once again, since this was a movie that was riling up the KKK, was basically propaganda, I doubt they were actually going to get any black people. Well, except for this one scene. because there's one scene where the Cameron's house gets attacked by a black majority militia, right? And some of those actors do look like actual black people, which confused me because I'm like, did you not know what type of movie this was? Were you forced to do this? Were you? I doubt you were hired. And if you were, I doubt you were really like paid for it. So like, did your owners make you do it? I don't know. I just had a lot of questions about this. And of course, they were only gonna let any real black people, if they were real black people, play the negative parts, where the poor innocent Southern family in Piedmont, South Carolina, were attacked by these angry black people. Of course they were. Another misunderstanding that we had that was actually kind of funny was there was a part. I'm sorry, my phone is going off. There was a part where there was a battlefield type deal where these men were going in and out of the bush, right? And when me and my friends first saw it, we thought it was like a relationship between two men, I guess. Because it gets really weird because like one man, it seems like he takes the bullet for the other one, right? And he falls down to the ground. And then the other guy gets hit, and then like he slowly crawls towards him and like caresses his face and looks like he's going in for a kiss, and then they die in each other's arms. So we were like, are they talking about like the LGBTQ community? Like, are they trying to say something here? Like, what is this? I don't understand what this is. And like with other scenes before this, whenever a character said something, there would be like a title card before or after it, right? So it explained what they said. There was none of that here, but we could see their lips moving. When I did research about this, it said that the man who took the bullet was supposed to be a black man, so I'm guessing a white dude in blackface, but he didn't really do that well because we thought he was just a regular white dude, but whatever. He took the bullet for the other guy, but as he was dying, he mentioned that he wanted a kiss from his mother as his last dying wish, and the other dude got hit as well, so he decided to, I guess, pretend to be his mother and give him a kiss. Which makes even less sense because, like, why would you care about this random black dude on the field? You know? I don't know. It was confusing. I don't know why they put this into the movie. I felt like this movie, the first part at least, from what we could see, there was a lot of unnecessary scenes, a lot of unnecessary stuff. They dragged stuff out for no reason. Like, this movie could, like, the first hour chunk of the movie could have easily been shortened down to, like, 15-20 minutes. Introduce us to the two families, show their relations, show them getting to the war, maybe the love stories, whatever they might be, and then, you know, get more intense. All these fighting scenes didn't need to be there. Even though the fighting scenes I had questions about, because like there was a lot of them. And when I say a lot, I mean there was a lot, and they used a lot of smoke during these scenes as well. So I guess it was supposed to be like fire, like danger and intensity, but like Jesus Christ. But yeah, I guess that brings us to the end of part 1. I know it was confusing. It was confusing for us to watch it. I had to do research to understand it, and even with some research, not everything was explained too well. But yeah, next week will be part 2. It may or may not be the last. It depends on what happens. But yeah. Be strong, be kind, be patient, be compassionate, wear a mask, and this is Mookie Yuki out. Bye bye.